pick an arbitrary date. Let's call it 5 years from now. What is the price of Bitcoin, Dan?
750,000.
Well, that's close to me. I was thinking in 10 years we're at 1 million. So that's my...
Split the difference there. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, a million easy.
Is there... Love that.
So in this clip, you've seen Adam Back sit there and tell you $1 million Bitcoin within the next 5 years is going to be extremely easy. You have others, 750, 500. Point is, Bitcoin's going up. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. Before we get started today, Bitcoin Bros are in Vegas. And look what happened. Look at the announcement. Bitcoin 2026 returns to Las Vegas next year as well. April 27th to 29th, 2026, Bitcoin Bros will be here again. We have one more day of this year's conference. This conference has been great. We definitely encourage everybody to attend. There's a lot of networking. Picture a room with 40 to 50,000 people, all Bitcoiners. You see a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life, just investors, people that are doing startups, people that have companies that have just launched. There's a lot of excitement in this space. At the Venetian again, definitely check it out next year if you didn't make it this year. And to get straight into it, Bitcoin at the current time it's recording is still hovering right around that 108 range at 107.9K. And looking at the Bitcoin price chart on the monthly, we showed you this. We have a few days to the month close. And the level we want to stay above before the close is that 101.5 range. We get a candle close above that level, it's going to be off to the races. And once again, that Fisher indicator we showed you, when this thing crosses over, last time it did it, it went from 70,000 up to a peak of 109. And right now we see that crossover occurring. So over the next few days, just got to get that candle closed. Come June 1, and we will be off to the races, assuming we don't get any drastic pullback until then. There's a lot going on at Bitcoin Vegas. The president's sons are here. And look at what the president's son said. A friend of his told him was the biggest problem with Bitcoin.
I've got a dear friend. He spoke on the stage before, Simon from Metaplanet, and I asked him, "What's the hardest problem?" And he goes, "Honestly, we're running out of Bitcoin. It's hard to find on the exchanges. I mean, guys, everybody wants it. No one wants to get rid of it. Everybody wants it as a balance sheet item. Every family, and this isn't America. This is the entire Middle East. This is Africa. This is all of Asia. This is Fortune 500. I mean, this is the biggest private offices. Everybody wants it. No one wants to get rid of fractions of integers. We just are so early to the game that some of us have been lucky enough to buy full Bitcoin or many full Bitcoin, but don't let that deter you from getting in there, because this is an asset, and this is an asset that is absolutely unstoppable."
And you heard it there from the president of the United States' son. There is not enough Bitcoin to go around. They're running out of Bitcoin on exchanges. Metaplanet has been buying Bitcoin like a madman. And as you see right here, this was yesterday. They issued 50 million USD in 0% ordinary bonds to purchase additional Bitcoin. So that's more Bitcoin buys. And then look what they came out and said today. Metaplanet, a day later, issues a $21 million USD 0% ordinary bond to purchase additional Bitcoin. Once again, that's 71 million. Well, they come out tomorrow and with another announcement. They're buying Bitcoin. Everybody's buying Bitcoin. Check this out on bitbo.io/treasuries. As you see, Metaplanet is in the top 10 at 7,800 Bitcoin. We had that news. GameStop dipped their toe in. Ryan Cohen spent about 10% of his cash reserves on Bitcoin, which, if you're going to dip a toe, why not jump in? But they have 4,700, whatever. But Metaplanet is continuing to eat Bitcoin along with the rest of the companies. Have you stack sats? mtplf at the close is at $8.44. And right now, at the current time it's recording, the Japanese market is open at $11.96. And you see that conversion is down to $8.20. So if you see here, $11.97, $11.96, give or take. MTPLF, went at $8.44. So it's down about 24 cents. Nothing too crazy, but still over $8. We'll see where the 3350 ticker closes and where the US markets open tomorrow. And speaking of Metaplanet and MicroStrategy, we got the CEO of MicroStrategy, Phong Le, talking about what's going on in the space with these Bitcoin treasury companies. You don't want to miss this.
Well, last year when we were sitting in this forum, Semler Scientific and Metaplanet announced that they were going to adopt a Bitcoin treasury strategy. And at that point in time, maybe there were 5 companies. And now with Nakamoto and others, we're up to 80 companies. 80 companies still represents, in the world of 4 million companies, a pretty small percentage of a percentage fraction. So I don't think about it as what is the percentage of 21 million Bitcoin. I think about it as the percentage of companies in the world that have a Bitcoin treasury strategy. And we are incredibly early. Let's say next year we're sitting here and it's 800 companies. It's still incredibly early. And then I say, do you really think about it as, are you too early or are you too late? Or do you think about, you have all this excess cash in your balance sheet, earning whatever it is, 2%, you can decapitalize yourself and give it back to your shareholders, or you can actually make money off of your balance sheet. And isn't that really how you should think about it? All of you here hold Bitcoin, often as retailers, as individuals. You made a decision to put Bitcoin on your balance sheet. Did you say to yourself, well, Satoshi's got a lot of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor's got a lot of Bitcoin. The Winklevi have a lot of Bitcoin. Therefore, I shouldn't have any Bitcoin. So to me, it's a very similar thought process. If you believe in Bitcoin as a superior form of capital, the apex form of capital, digital capital, why wouldn't you want to? And I don't think of it as a competition. I don't say, oh, David, you just entered with Nakamoto. Man, now we're at odds.
Better watch out.
Let's
We're
fight
coming
that.
for you.
We go out and I like what Simon's been doing with Metaplanet and the value that they've created for their shareholders. I don't look at that and say, you won, I lost. I looked at that and say, we all win. And so I don't think it's ever really too late, but you have to think of what is the competition. The competition isn't each other. The competition is fiat currency. The competition is U.S. Treasury bills. The competition is not earning something for your shareholders.
And this clip, Phong had a great point. Look how early we are. Now, the bigger question is, will there be enough Bitcoin to go around for all these different companies? From year over year, it went from 5 companies to 80 companies now buying and hodling Bitcoin and starting Bitcoin treasuries. This is still the early innings. Actually, 80 out of 4 million global companies, that's still the first inning. But there's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's not going to be enough Bitcoin for every single company. So these are the early pioneers into this space. If you don't see what's going on, you might miss an opportunity. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate each and every one of you. With that, I'm out.